Welcome on in to the latest edition of the PI Live podcast. Is that what we're calling this bad boy now? All right, we'll go with that. So, as Sean gets set up, obviously we're going to talk a lot about the Eagles' 34-7 thrashing of the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. Carson Wentz, mesmerizing play. 21-30, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. Had never thrown 3 touchdowns in an NFL game before. Had 3 of them in the opening 15 minutes. How about that?
Career high, 4 TD passes. What a day, man. What a day. And if you were down there at the link, I'm sure you had a blast. So go ahead and fire off your comments. Adrian, Fedkiw, Sean Brace. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to press play in this Facebook. Make sure we sound good here.
Yeah.
Because, that's the way it's always got to be.
Meanwhile, I will read off the amazing statistics of Carson Wentz on third down.
Hold that thought, though, for just 1 second.
All right, when we get on that topic.
So we're good, yeah. Okay, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to get into, including Joel Embiid, but this is where we talk mainly just football. We talk about the Eagles, the NFL. We will mention some college football. Penn State doing really well as well.
Yeah.
Bumped up to number 3. I love, actually, the top 5. And they're just I haven't really looked at the SEC divisions and who's on what, but I love Georgia. Love Georgia. When they beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, that had my attention.
Yeah.
And they're really grooving right now. But that top 5, Penn State, we'll find out what they have. They got back-to-back weeks of Michigan and Ohio State and then Michigan State. So we're going to find out what happens there with Penn State. But we're going to talk about the Eagles. Their 34-7 victory over the Cards yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFC East. I got a Peter King tweet that I'm going to toss out to you, Adrian, to get your thoughts on that. And, of course, at the end, we're definitely going to Joel Embiid getting that monster contract.
Yeah.
We have all the details. We have all the years.
Well, not all the details, but we know details.
Oh, yeah, true. Sorry. We have the basic details, hey, these, this is what the contract he's on right now. If you don't sign him to this contract, he would be a free agent when, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So we got all that. So we're going to touch on that in just 1 second. But first things first, PhillyUpster.com, Adrian Fedkiw, Sean Brace. Folks, we have something special right now. And Carson Wentz, what he did on Sunday, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the Cards, but anytime a team from the West Coast comes east, same thing, going all across the way, whatever. But it's a little bit different for teams coming east because of the, now you're playing early. That 1 o'clock kick is really
I agree
early
with that. Yeah.
So I think, but bottom line, the Eagles could have played this game Monday Night Football. They could have played it, wherever. They're just a better team than the Cardinals.
Yes.
And the Cardinals have some decent players, some decent, playmakers, some speed. Good coach. I like Arians. Good defense. I thought they were a little bit better than what they showed yesterday, but they have potential. And the Eagles, to roll them in the first quarter, I'll put it to you this way. I was DJing down there at Xfinity Live. We had the party for Real 106.1, iHeartRadio. Every home game, we're down there at Xfinity Live and at Victory Beer Hall. So it was live. It was crazy. We gave away tickets. We had a 4th and 26 challenge with Freddie Mitchell. Had a blast, and we're gonna be doing that every home game. But because I had to work at Fox last night, I didn't stick around. I didn't go to the link. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home. Because I can't stay for the whole game anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting caught in traffic, and it's going to piss me off if I have to leave for the 4th quarter. Screw it. So I just got in the car at 1 o'clock as soon as the gig was over. By the time I got to Conshohocken, where I live, it was 21-0. The game was over.
It was.
And, Carson, first touchdown pass to Trey Burton, beautiful. Second touchdown was set up by Kenyon Barner on the punt return.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Great job by Joe Douglas and Howie Roseman bringing him in.
Yep.
And I'm going to let you talk in just 1 second. Zach Ertz, touchdown.
Don't worry. Keep going.
And then the Torrey Smith long ball. And all I'm going to say is this. We're going to get to that Nelson Aguilar in just a second. But if you hit those long balls that he was missing earlier in the season, that's only going to help the run game up even more.
We're seeing Carson Wentz literally grow right in front of our very eyes. 11 of 12 on third down yesterday for 225 yards and 3 touchdowns. That number is absolutely ridiculous. Now, 9 of 12 on the conversion, so 2 of those completions actually were short of the sticks or short of the goal line because one was a 3rd and goal from the 17-yard line. But you look at those numbers and you look at it's a newfound confidence in the deep ball.
Yeah.
Because I remember Torrey Smith running that same route earlier this season against the Redskins, and he hesitated. He threw it like a second late. Josh Norman came and undercut that pass.
Sure.
Broke it up.
Yeah.
Sunday, we see a completion. No hesitancy. All the confidence in the world. And the looping trajectory to Nelson Aguilar as well.
Wait, what?
The looping trajectory.
How do you measure that? What do you got?
I don't know. I don't know how to measure it. Maybe we need a sports science segment.
Looping trajectory.
The looping trajectory, because he throws that flat ball sometimes.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
That ball. First of all, let's just talk about that play right now. 3rd and 19.
Yeah.
Arians brings the absolute house.
Yep.
Okay. Wentz feels it, steps up somewhat, but the looping trajectory, he got air underneath that ball.
He got air on
and
that
it
ball.
was on, like...
You couldn't have dropped it any better.
It was right in the bucket.
Yeah.
So it was great grab by Nelson Aguilar, unbelievable. Buda Baker, see ya.
Yeah.
The rookie,
Yeah.
see ya. Wouldn't want to be a...
Causing a matchup problem. That's Doug.
And then the Nestea plunge. And he shout out to Sean after the game. Yo, Nelson Aguilar, he heard it, and I really can't wait to. I hope it continues because obviously we got a long way to go. I hope it continues, but I do feel like the addition of Alshon Jeffrey. And I heard this from some people, and I caught it out one night. He was hanging with Alshon. I think Alshon kind of was like, come here, let me. Let's relax.
Yeah.
And then plus, he doesn't have to do it all by himself. I'm not to say he had to do it all by himself last year, but it was obviously mental for Nelson Aguilar. He's got the skills. He's got the speed. All right? It was all mental for the kid.
He never finished. He never caught the ball, but he would get separation.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what the big issue was with Nelson Aguilar, I thought. And, to see what he's doing right now. He's the only guy in the NFL with 2 50-plus yard touchdowns this year.
Saw that.
That's it.
Saw that.
That's a Reuben Frank tweet right there.
Shout out. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him. He gets some great tweets out there too. So.
Oh, he's a great follow.
Yeah, great follow. But
let's go. Did you want? Because I want to get to something negative if I can.
Okay. Yeah,
all right?
sure. Go ahead.
And it's obvious. Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Terrible. Anytime you're going to lose somebody like that, we're already playing without Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, Lane Johnson. And we know what type of player he is on that offensive line, what type of effort he brings every single play, who he goes up against. And he's been dominant all season long, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is a huge loss, and there's probably a good chance that he's not going to pass the concussion protocol.
I don't think he's going to play
before Thursday night.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing.
It's a huge loss, and I believe the Panthers are like a top 3 defense. But
Charles Johnson and Julius Peppers they're going to have to deal with Big V. There you go.
Not good.
That's going to be hard.
Not good. And good thing that the game is over. There's a number of ways to look at this Thursday night game. You sit there and say, hey, anytime the away team travels or the away team on Thursday night, it's tough for them to travel down there, short rest, game plan automatically in there. I mean, because you got to think about it. Imagine you're playing on Sunday. You don't put in a new game plan.
Yeah.
You from what I've been told, I don't know how true this is, but the Eagles are playing on Thursday night. 2 weeks ago, they would start sliding in some plays. Maybe 3 weeks ago, they would start sliding in some plays for Thursday night.
Wow.
Just because – and even if they lost to the Cardinals, you don't have any time to look at that tape.
Yeah.
It's like the Patriots. When they lost to the Panthers and they had to play the Bucs on Thursday night, they didn't look at the Panthers tape. They just went and said, all right, let's go on to the next.
Yeah.
So here we are, Thursday night, and it's only going to be tougher because no Lane Johnson.
Yeah. Just to go back on third down, something I wanted to mention I forgot to. I want to give Doug Peterson some credit. I know the haters are out there. I guess you say I'm one of them. I don't know.
Are you a Doug
hater? I'm more of a realist than a hater. I don't really hate on Doug.
Well,
I just call what I see.
And he had some all right, and look, and I will give your opinion a little bit more credence than a lot of other people out there because you do the homework. You watch the tape. You break it down. So I would pay attention to what you had to say. It's not like you were killing him. You're not saying he's clueless.
No.
But he had some questionable calls last year that made you say, I'm not so sure.
But I've seen improvements
Absolutely.
from last year because I want to say this. 4 3rd and 11 conversions. In the past, Doug Peterson, that's a screen pass. Mm-hmm. That's a screen call. He didn't have the confidence in Carson Wentz before to throw it past the sticks. But what are we seeing now? We're seeing that confidence. We're seeing him let his second-year quarterback rip it. And I like to see that. very much.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
And you know,
So we're seeing improvements.
Wentz is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now on third down. Hell, you know, he's up there.
He's the best. In terms of his quarterback passer rating, I believe he's number 1 right now. Last year, he was 28th on third down.
Is there anything that, wow, really, 28th?
Yeah.
Well, you get weapons. Give him some time. The one thing that there are people out there that question this, and this is like that yin and yang. You got to find the balance because one flaw that constantly gets brought up every single game with Carson Wentz is that he hangs onto the football too long.
Yeah.
But I will say, I want him making plays with his feet. That's what I count on. You know, when it's go time and that, you know, second half and you need that first down like Aaron Rodgers did in that final drive against the Cowboys. That is what Wentz can do, and I want him to be able to do it. Yeah. And if you're going to, you got to hang on to the football a little bit longer. Now, I know, like I said, there's that yin and yang because, hey, all it takes is one little swat in the third quarter, ball's on the ground, they get good field possession, score a touchdown, and that could be the difference. Yeah. And in a playoff game, you're going home. Yeah. So hopefully we are talking about playoffs. I feel like Carson has good control on the football when he's in the pocket. Even though he did lead the league last year in fumbles. That's right. That was out there.
Yeah, he did.
But hopefully he's growing this year. But there's that yin and yang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when he's picking up the sticks on a 3rd and 8, I could deal with some of the sacks on 2nd down. I could deal with like the yin and yang. You just deal with it and you live with it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you just don't want to drop the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. And if he's got good control on it, there's not much you need to worry about there. I love watching the kid sling it. Like you said, he's got so much confidence. Everybody is just going crazy over him as far as the national pundits are concerned. Yeah. SportsCenter was just absolutely going nuts over him. Or not SportsCenter, but the Monday Night Football Countdown. Mm-hmm. They were filling in for Jamel Hill and Michael Smith, who I believe are off today, which is just crazy. I'm not even going to start. I'm not even going to start.
Don't.
No, I'm not going to start.
Don't.
Not even going to start. But all I know is if you have a damn employee, or if you're an employee and you're working for somebody, I'm sorry, but you can only push them to the limit so many times before they have to do something. And this is the second time she's been suspended. So I understand what you're trying to say. They're trying to silence her. But, I mean, she works for a company. She's got a boss. Yeah. She can't just do whatever she wants. If she wants, she should start JamelHill.com, and she won't have that problem. Hey. But I'm not trying to stick up for ESPN because they've totally mismanaged everything. And at this point in time, what are they expecting here? Did I just say I wasn't going to get into this, and now here I am?
Let's move on.
No, all I'm saying is like ESPN probably should have fired her. Because you know what? At the end of the day,
it's just causing a lot of headaches at this point.
Because isn't that what's going to happen?
Yes.
And Jamel Hill at this point in time, whether you like her or don't like her, I respect her. I think she did it. I like the afternoon show more than the 6 o'clock show. I don't know. I don't watch the 6 o'clock show. The afternoon show, his and hers, I watched it. But she's going to be fine. Somebody's going to bring her on. She'll be all right. So you take the backlash. You got rid of her. Oh, well. I hate to say it like that, but that's where this is going to go anyways.
I agree with you.
All right. So. Sorry,
I don't need to comment on anymore.
Well,
but you said it.
It's just ridiculous.
You said it well.
You can't just run your yap and then expect nobody to have a problem with it. Yeah, so, if you want, like I said, go work for yourself. Then you won't have that problem. Back to the Eagles. Boom. And keeping up with the Carson Wentz. And I asked G Cobb this last night on Fox 29. I say, "Yo, G, what the hell were the Cleveland Browns thinking?"
Oh,
when I watch Wentz play, that's the only thing that comes. Like, it's the first thing that comes to my mind is like, what were the Browns thinking? And I saw somebody put out a tweet on social media. I think it was Joe Giglio from WIP said the Browns are now 1-20 since they passed on Carson Wentz.
Wow, 1-20.
So my question to you is not what were the Browns thinking, because I think we talked about that before. But would Carson Wentz be successful in a Cleveland Browns uniform? As successful?
Wow. Well, that's an interesting question because he would have Hugh Jackson. I think Hugh Jackson is a good quarterback, kind of whisperer type of guy. They do actually have a good offensive line. Yes, he would have Joe Thomas as his left tackle, so protecting his blind side would be, fine. But who are your receivers in Cleveland? So you're looking at a situation similar to what Philadelphia was in last year.
Yeah, it's true.
So basically, you'd probably see the Carson Wentz of last year in Cleveland for like 3 to 4 years. I think that's what would happen.
So would he be?
He wouldn't be as good in Cleveland as in Philly.
Okay. I've tried to. I was thinking. I think we're on the same page, but would you be, the wins and losses wouldn't be there. Maybe the production wouldn't be there because who's catching the football and all that. Yeah. But
no running game also, really. Like, it's kind of
it's tough to really pinpoint, like, the question. So I guess what I would say is that I think he would be – I'm trying to say if you would look at him in the Cleveland Browns uniform and say, I don't think he's going to be that successful, like Aaron Rodgers in the Cleveland Browns uniform, they're winning games.
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So how good is Carson Wentz if we would say, hey, you know what, put him in a different uniform, I don't know what happens there.
He's developing, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess over time Cleveland would try to build around him.
Definitely.
So that would make him look better. I definitely think he's talented.
He's incredible.
I definitely think he's there.
He's incredible. And I don't know him from off the field, but the little things that we do see, religious, all that, Hunter, knock on wood, but is not the guy that you got to worry about. Like, this is crazy right now.
Yeah.
I had somebody was on the NFL Network talking about this is a guy that you're going to have for the next 10 years, and special things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, people are talking 10 years right now.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
Like, this is what we've been begging for since McNabb
This is going to be better than McNabb.
You hope.
You hope, yeah.
I don't think it's like snapping of fingers. McNabb was pretty special.
He was. He was.
They had a good run.
I feel like Carson Wentz wasn't doing things McNabb was doing in his second year.
Let me take that back. The run was special. McNabb was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But the run was special.
Yeah. There you go. That's well worded.
Schwartz in this defensive line. Am I allowed to say this? Switching it up. Let's go to the defense. Am I allowed to say that I want to see more from the defensive line? I thought that they showed out. Like, I want to see more sacks. I want to see some more numbers. The Giants, I thought, completely, changed their game plan because of what the defensive line brings to the table. So you got to give credit there. Against the Chargers, they didn't really tally up numbers, right? I mean, they had that sack early. I'm trying to think of who else had some sacks. I think there might have been. I don't know.
They had 2 sacks yesterday.
2 sacks?
There were 2.
But they were all over Carson Palmer.
Now,
all over.
I'm looking. See, the problem is I can't ever read my handwriting when I watch it back.
So
I don't know why I do this in the first place. But
I'll tell you, that's when I write on these things. Like, that's what I tell myself when I'm writing. I have the worst handwriting. Well, I think
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Make sure you can read your own writing. Same stuff, dude. Why you gotta do it if you can't read it?
But when I circle, I know what I'm writing. So 13 quick passes for the Cardinals in the first half, 9 deep tosses, and. Out of the 9, it seemed like the Eagles were pressuring Palmer. So these quick passes, if you're getting the ball out so quick, it's kind of hard to get on the defensive line for not getting pressure. But then again, Brandon Graham had a sack on a quick pass.
Okay.
So I feel like the defensive line was fine. I think teams are adjusting to the defensive line by trying to get the ball out quicker.
Definitely.
And what happened yesterday was Jalen Mills and Patrick Robinson really, really stepping up.
Jalen Mills off the jump.
Yes. Yeah, I had that tweet. The 3 and out was specifically on Jalen Mills. You had the stop and run defense on first down, and then 2 pass breakups, and then all of a sudden it's a 3 and out. Eagles go right down the field. They score. It's 21-0 after the first quarter.
Snap of the finger. It's
and
over.
The Cardinals have 21 yards.
Halftime, it was just like, are they really playing this second half? Are they really going to do that? The one error that Wentz had before half, try to slide it into Ertz in the corner of the end zone. He's got to realize.
I honestly don't hate that throw. I think Antoine Bethea made just a hell of a play.
He did. You're right. But you got to hate that throw, Adrian, because I know it's 21-0, but that's points on the board.
I know.
You know what I mean? You have to hate that throw. That's 3 points right there.
The problem on that play was he was staring him down the whole time.
Sure.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
And that's why he was able to come over so quickly.
Yeah.
Bethea.
And it was a great grab. You're right about that. But the Cards went back the other way, and they missed the field goal. So then next thing you know.
No, you're right. It is a poor decision.
You got to get those points.
Right. No,
you
can't
leave
right.
points on the board.
After thinking about it.
You know what?
Because it was late in the half. You're right.
You know what I'm thinking right now? I'm thinking I'm on another level right now, Adrian. I'm thinking postseason. and these are
You're looking ahead.
Yeah, these are the things that will send you packing.
No, you're right.
I'm thinking postseason right now.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit more about Thursday night here. I'm thinking postseason right now. But if the Eagles go down to Carolina, I'm heading down tomorrow. My flight leaves at 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I booked Tuesday. I'm going to go see my boy Rick down there.
There you go.
Got a good cast of characters traveling down on Wednesday. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be a little wet and crappy for 2 days, but, a couple breweries down there. Go visit.
There you go. Make it rain in there.
I like Charlotte, the Queen City. It's a good spot. Bojangles, I'm coming for you. 4-piece Supreme dinner. You ever had Bojangles before?
I heard of it. I mean, I went to Temple, and they got a Bojangles around there.
No, they don't have Bojangles.
It's a Bojangles chicken place? It's a chicken place?
They don't have no Bojangles at Temple.
No, it's near Temple.
There's one the closest one to here would be in Reading, I believe.
Then maybe I'm not thinking of a Bojangles.
I think you're probably thinking about Crown Fried Chicken.
No, it ain't Crown Fried Chicken. There's a Crown Fried Chicken.
Damn
I know
right.
about that.
You're
All right,
right.
I know. I've had plenty of thirsty Thursdays in my day.
There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and you just see the dirty rice box and you're just like, oh no,
you're right. Yeah.
What did I do?
That's that type of food you can't eat sober.
No, definitely not. But Thursday night against the Carolina Panthers, both 4-1, and I was talking to somebody earlier, and it was over a Peter King tweet. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk Thursday night, and then I'm going to get your take on this Peter King tweet. But
okay.
Carolina Panthers right now, Cam's on a different level. He's pissed off at what just happened. I really do believe that. Now he's got a me against the world type attitude. He's always had that.
He's playing just as good as Carson Wentz right now.
He's grooving right now, and that defense is better than what the Eagles have. It's a home game. Thursday night, Eagles are going to be banged up. Let's see what happens with Fletcher Cox. We'll see what happens with Lane Johnson. I don't want to say he's out just yet. But, the Eagles are hurting right now. And I think the Panthers are a good team. But I'm sorry. I feel like the Eagles could go down there, and I'm going to pick them to win the game.
I think the Eagles match up very well against them in terms of the passing game. Mm-hmm. The running game will be interesting because I remember the last time these two teams played and they tried all the Chip Kelly outside zone sweep stuff. They weren't able to run it because Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis, the way that they can go sideline to sideline, that stuff isn't going to work. Mm-hmm. And then if you try to run in between the tackles, well, they got Kwan Short, they got Kuechly. So I believe I don't know what they are against the run off the top of my head, but they're top 10.
Yeah.
But you look at their cornerbacks. They got a pair of second-year guys. One's a second-rounder, one's a third-rounder. James Bradbury is their number one cornerback right now. So Alshon Jeffrey, for the first time this season, is salivating. And then you got Darryl Worley on the other side. So these are the matchups that you have to exploit. But can Big V hold up Carson Wentz in pass protection? Can he, handle Julius Peppers and Charles Johnson? I think that's going to be key. So you protect Wentz, you let him air it out on those two young corners, and I think the Eagles' offense is going to feast again.
Speaking of corners, we got a comment here on Facebook page from Dave McClain. He says, apparently there's a Pro Football Focus stat out there that Pat Robinson is statistically the best corner in the league. Is that true?
Well, I've been saying he's been the best corner on the Eagles so far this year, but that's ridiculous. He's not the best corner in the league.
So Robinson's been the best corner on the Eagles so far?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man, wait till Darby comes back.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable the transformation we've seen because they put him in the nickel spot. What happened was Ronald Darby came in, and all of a sudden everybody stopped talking about Patrick Robinson's problems. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just, he calmed down, he relaxed, and all of a sudden he's balling out. And he looks like what he did 2 years ago in San Diego. When he played the nickel with the Chargers, he was excellent. And Pro Football Focus, as Dave McClain said, they rated him very high 2 years ago.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden we see it again. Now, I don't know how he can be the highest rated in football because he could have like 4 interceptions. He's dropping the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs
He
to
was
hit
beating
a jug
himself
machine.
up. They were giving it to him in the locker room. We also had another one. Toby Koo checks in, and he says, Ertz will have another big game. The chemistry with Wentz is amazing. Totally agree. He is their go-to receiver.
Yeah.
He is Carson Wentz's go-to receiver.
And don't underestimate the role that Jeffrey plays in that, opening up the field for everybody.
No, look, there's no B and C'ing right now about anything. Nothing. Alshon Jeffrey signed here. I'm fine with that. For the 1 year, let's see what we got. We'll make it through this season, and we'll talk in the offseason.
Yeah,
Maybe they're working on a contract extension. Who knows? But everything is fine right now. Production, I'm fine with everybody, or with everything that's happening, and especially if Torrey Smith is catching the football.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he was able to bounce
Home
back.
run hitter.
Yeah. So Thursday night at Charlotte, at Carolina, it's going to be tough. Let's be real about it. But the reason why somebody hit me up and said, "Why are you taking the Eagles?" It's a big game, and I know the Eagles, they're not going to go 15-1 this year. I know they're going to lose football games. I just feel like this is the one game right now where they're going, okay, we can measure up. Let's see what we got here. They're going to get up for this game. And everybody is 75 we're going to pick the Eagles. I know it's a 3-point spread. 75%, 80% of it, like ESPN, NFL Network, all that. When they pick the Monday, that Thursday night game, you know darn well 80% are going to take the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Yeah. I like the Eagles to go down to Carolina and win the football game.
I really do think they match up well. I don't have a pick yet.
Okay.
So I'm
a short week.
I'm pussing out. But I do think they match up very well. My initial instincts were no, they're not going to win. And then after thinking about it today, now I'm like on your side of things. So that tells me it's definitely going to be a close game. It might be like 24-23, something ridiculous. We're going to be, on the edge of our seats the whole game. But, it'll be interesting.
No, it's going to be great. Can't wait. Let me read you this Peter King tweet and get everybody else's take. You'll love this. And for the people out there, so Peter King was talking about Carson Wentz, and he was talking about the Eagles, and I'm pulling it up. Of course, I started tweeting like a crazy man about Joel Embiid. No, there it is. All right, so Peter King was asked, how excited should we be about the Eagles, this Eagles team, and where do they rank in the NFC for you? Peter King responded, on a good day, they're the best team in the conference, but Washington, Green Bay, Atlanta, Seattle, Minnesota, and Rams could beat them too. So, once again, Washington, Green Bay, Atlanta, Seattle, Minnesota, the LA Rams. He said could beat them too. So I'm going to take it team by team, part by part, and you give me your take as well. Let's start off with Minnesota and the Rams. Sorry, the Eagles could beat them.
I don't think the Vikings can beat the Eagles. No. The Rams, we're going to see if we can beat them because we're going to play them this year.
That's true.
In L.A. So there you go.
All right. Well, then that kind of shuts me up a little bit.
But I don't think they can beat the Eagles.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I don't know, Pete. I think the Eagles could beat the Vikings, and I think they could beat the L.A. Rams. I don't care where they play. Moving on. How about Washington? Didn't they beat them already, Pete?
We already beat them.
What are you talking about, Peter King? We already beat them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
And it was on the road.
And I know Washington's playing better, but guess what?
We're playing better, too.
Yes. Like, dude, what is going on? And the next time they play is Monday Night Football here.
Yeah.
Once again, catch me at the Victory Beer Hall at Xfinity Live.
And maybe I'll show up.
Shout out Real 106.1, Philly's home for #1 throwbacks. iHeartRadio. What's up?
Yay.
4th and 26 challenge was great. It was Freddie Mitchell, obviously, 4th and 26.
Yeah.
Threw 2 helmets on, so we pulled a couple names out. Mm-hmm. One team threw, one team watched.
Yeah.
You complete the pass, you're going into the game. You don't, the other team's going in. We threw Eagles helmets on them.
Yeah. 2
chicks. It was the first one we called. Hey, you're throwing, whatever. Yeah. So they did. And right over Victory Beer Hall, girl fires a pass over the picnic tables. We taped it off. We had to do it inside because it was raining. And she threw a nice pass, and her teammate was just stood there. It was like Charlie Brown.
Oh, my.
Fell like right in front of her.
Oh.
And, it was funny. But the 4th and 26 challenge could call your name. You win a pair of tickets, courtesy of Miller Lite, so stop on by, please. Moving on.
Yeah. Well, those other 3 teams, did you want to just get into those?
Well, that's what I'm saying right now.
Okay.
Green Bay, Atlanta, Seattle. We'll just jump them up because they are the better teams in the conference.
If you're on the road, we're not beating any of them. I don't think so.
On the road, not beating Green Bay, agreed. On the road, not beating Atlanta. Okay.
I don't think we could beat them, but that's...
Didn't Buffalo?
Buffalo did beat them, but see, I do this little scoring thing, and there's a reason why I do this.
Well, it's all about matchups.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about with that. It's all about matchups. But I think that they could beat the Atlanta Falcons. But I'll go with you on this, so they can't beat Atlanta on the road. Yeah. Seattle on the road.
Seattle, no way.
And again, they're playing them this year too.
See, this is that. So in my play-by-play, that no one knows about this on PI, but I do this on YouTube. So I had Atlanta actually winning in the play-by-play scoring against Buffalo. Buffalo had like a controversial like fumble return for a touchdown.
Yes, it did.
You remember that.
A lot of people lost their survivor pools on that. Yeah.
I think Atlanta has been pretty good from what I've seen. But at home, I think at home you can beat them. We beat them last year. At home, I don't think we can beat Green Bay or Seattle, though.
Do you do every game?
Not every game.
Do you do just Eagles, common opponents?
a lot of Eagles. I try to watch like 5 to 6 games a week. I mean, it's hard to obviously watch all of them.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't need to. I mean, there's you know which teams you need to watch and all that.
The trick is the Game Pass because I have the condensed huddles, so I can watch a game in 30 minutes.
Perfect.
So that's why.
Great stuff.
Yep.
And then Seattle's on the road as well. That's a tough place to play. So now let's flip it. Green Bay here. I still say no.
I still say no, too. I think they match up too well against us with the quick passing game. I don't think we can beat them.
Could you get Aaron Rodgers like a dominant receiver? Like, Jordy's awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, could he get like a go-to? I mean, who am I trying to think of? Like Julio Jones and AJ
like
Green.
Mike Evans or something.
Somebody like that. I mean, it's just, look what he's been done. They have not hooked him up with a dominant receiver. Like I said, a go-to guy. I'm not trying to say that he's got chopped liver over there because Jordy's pretty damn good. He's had some pretty good receivers over the years, but a great receiver. Like, how do you have Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback and just not say, we need to get this guy?
They've whiffed on draft picks, I guess, because they thought Randall Cobb was going to be something. He's kind of disappointed lately.
Yeah,
Devontae Adams really hasn't worked out.
And made a great grab yesterday.
Who's their? I'm blanking on their GM, but they never sign free agents.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
That's what I mean. I don't know why
they just don't do it.
Should hook up Aaron Rodgers a little bit more. And the last and final team on that at the Eagles would be Seattle.
Yeah, at Seattle, I don't think so.
Seattle at home, yeah.
At home, maybe.
Yeah, I think they can.
I don't think Seattle. See, the reason why I say maybe is that offensive line. I think the Eagles would feast on that line.
Mm-hmm.
Away though, that's a tough place to play.
Agreed.
But like looking ahead, talking about maybe earning a bye. That's why it's important to get a home game against a Green Bay or Seattle or Atlanta. Because that's who you're going to see in the division.
I mean, I was just thinking about it for Andy in Kansas City. I was just like, dude, they're going to have home field advantage. They're not going to have to go to New England.
Yeah.
New England's going to come to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City has been behind in a couple of these games. Credit to them for coming back. They're not amazing. They're good. They're skilled.
I agree.
They're fast.
I agree.
But they're not untouchable.
They're the same team that I've seen the last couple years. They just have Kareem Hunt replacing Jamal Charles.
True, which is
huge.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Charles obviously has been hurt. But it's still the same team. I think they're still beatable. New England is going to figure it out. Because this is the same typical shit that happens every year with them. They're 3-2. The drama starts. Tom Brady's old, and they're gonna at some point they're gonna win like 8 games in a row. They're gonna get red hot going into the playoffs, and hell, who knows? Maybe they still get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, we'll see. Just checking out some comments here. We got Tony. Tony's watching. Shout out Tony Cotillo.
What up?
Make sure you check him out.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, those are the games. That was Peter King's tweet that I didn't necessarily agree with. But off of that.
I think Rams, Minnesota. Like, why are the Rams and Vikings randomly in there?
Well, Peter King just wants to involve everybody. National fan bases, all that good stuff. But to that point, and I want to get everybody's take on this, because I feel that when you talk about the Eagles right now, I think about the last 2 drives in the fourth quarter. I think about the running of the clock out against the Chargers, and I think about that 9.5-minute drive against the Cardinals. And I know that they gave up, but yesterday, that is just so impressive. And if I'm in that locker room and my squad was able to run the clock out one week and then follow up the next week, 9.5-minute drive, move the chains, they know you're running the football. They know you're staying in bounds. They know what you're doing. You're one-dimensional, and you're still bullying them down the field for 9.5 minutes, embarrassing them on television. If I'm in that locker room, I'm saying, we're a pretty damn good football team.
Hell yeah. And it starts up front with that O-line.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So when it comes to those other teams, confidence, that's what I think. Like this Thursday night, the Eagles are really going to be focused on this matchup. I wish it wasn't Thursday night. I wish it was a full week off because it's just so, like, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Like if I was gambling, dude, I would hardly lay a lot of money on a Thursday night.
Yeah, and flip a coin definitely because the Panthers are coming in red hot too.
They're good,
like you said. They beat
really
the Patriots in Foxborough 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So
Detroit's a good squad.
they are, and they just beat them on the road.
Yep.
So that's those 2 wins are more impressive than what the Eagles have had the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Eagles haven't beat anybody with the winning record, right?
Yeah, Cardinals will be 2-3 now. So I guess there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Skins?
and the Cardinals are worse than the Chargers and Giants. I think.
Are Skins 2-2? Somebody said the Eagles have not beat anybody with a winning record, so I guess that is right now. Chargers obviously
are they? Because they had
Giants,
a bye. They had a bye.
Yeah.
Okay, they're 2-2. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so that's what that makes.
But the Redskins are a good team.
Toby's checking in. Kelsey on the Aguilar touchdown. Did you see him put the 2 guys by side? I know I did not see that. I will have to check that out. He had a nice block on that 3rd and 19. Good stuff. I have to check that out. Like I said, they brought the house. It was 3rd and 19, and Nelson Aguilar's speed, and he was even with it was Budda Baker. That's what it was. They were even. He was gone.
Yep.
And that was beautiful. But back to what I was talking about with the long drives. I mean, man, if you're in that locker room, you're feeling some sort of confidence right now, and you're looking at this division. Let's bring it to the NFC East here, and the Cowboys and Redskins obviously are playing better football right now. I give them where credit was credit due. The Giants, see you later. They're in the Saquon Barkley sweepstakes. They're done. They're
number 1 quarterback if they get the top pick.
Yeah, either or.
Who knows?
So they're going for the number 1 pick right now. Their season's over. Losing Odell Beckham, that sucked. You didn't want to see that, but see ya. Giants are done. Now to the Cowboys and Redskins, and I haven't played the Cowboys at all. I thought that was a pretty good game against the Packers. The Packers, to me, when you have Aaron Rodgers, you're just not going to. It's not going to be easy. And if the Cowboys would have managed that clock better in the 4th quarter, like if they just were like, we got to score a touchdown. And it was just the wrong way to go about it. Just take your time. You can't, that's part of it. You can't leave guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers 50 seconds. Yeah. You can't do it.
Now, the interesting is they got the ball with 9:56 on the clock. I'll have to rewatch this. But if they really had, they would have still had the ball for 8 minutes.
The Cowboys?
Yeah,
that's okay. That's impressive.
So they did have it, but they did get cute at the end there with the clock. You gotta know how to work that, and the Eagles are working it right.
They are, but at that moment, that's it. That's going to win you or lose you the football game. If you give the ball, but everybody I was with was like Aaron Rodgers is going to win. It was a minute and 13.
Yeah, everyone knew. Yeah.
A minute 13.
Well, especially the way these 2 offenses were going, because look. In this game, you had only 8 possessions by each team. Your normal NFL game has about 10 to 12. So when you have a game like this, you have two teams possess the ball only 8 times, and for this scoreline to be 35-31, that tells me that both these defenses stink.
Struggling. Dallas is definitely struggling on defense.
Stink.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who they are still. But when it comes to offense, Dak, Zeke could pick up that tough yard. Good offensive line. Decent receivers, not the best. Witten's a little older. I still like the Eagles to win this division. I do.
Oh yeah, I don't. I think the Redskins might be. I don't know. Redskins might be our tougher test because I think the Cowboys' schedule is so difficult. They might keep racking up.
I'm gonna be pissed if the Eagles lose on Monday night to the Cowboys or to the Redskins.
To the Redskins.
I will be pissed. There's no reason why they should lose that game. We don't know what happens. That's the 23rd, right? I think coming up, I want to say. So, no, I'm getting my dates wrong.
I don't know what the
But
date
we don't
is.
know what's happening with as far as injuries or whatever. So,
that might be the game Darby comes back.
Yeah, you never know. I was just trying to check out what their the Eagles' bye week was, and that's in.
It's after the Broncos game, which is week 8.
Yes, it's in November. And this Redskins game is obviously the 23rd.
Or is it week 10?
No, yeah, because they go Skins at home, 49ers at home, Broncos on the road, bye.
I think the bye's week 10, actually.
Then the Cowboys on the road for 11-19.
So we get the Cowboys right after the bye. That's
correct.
huge.
So that's huge. Nice.
Yep.
But I would be pissed if the Eagles do not win on Monday night. That's for sure. But NFC East, we'll see what happens. I enjoyed watching the Dallas Cowboys lose.
Yeah.
Skins obviously had the bye week, so we'll see what happens when they come back to action next week. And the Eagles got a short week, and they head down to Carolina for Thursday night. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
NFL, any last thoughts before we move on to Joel Embiid?
That's about it. I mean, we talked about Dallas and Green Bay, and that was the one game I really watched intently yesterday, so don't really have anything else to say.
All right. Joel Embiid. Let's move it over to the hoops, man, because this was talked about for a little while now. There were some people saying, hey, Joel Embiid contract extension, would you say yes or no? And according to Adrian Wojnarowski and, of course, everybody else, 5 years, $148 million contract extension is the max. And, you just look at it, and the first thing, if I'm an out-of-town reporter, I'm saying, wait a minute, he played 31 games in 3 years, right? Three? 3 years. 3 years. And you just gave him $150 mil? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What is going on there?
The key to this is this salary cap protection, and this is a number. I don't know if we know it yet since the start of this show, if it's been known. But a key thing that Adrian Wojnarowski has in his report, the deal will include some salary cap protection for the Sixers should Embiid sustain injury that causes him to miss significant playing time, league sources said. So the key here is if this number, this salary cap protection number is close to, say, 50%, essentially the Sixers are giving him like a 5-year, whatever, $148 million is in half. So you're taking a 50-50 gamble on this, and I think it's a gamble, obviously, that would be a gamble to take.
Yeah.
But that's if that number is 50%. If this number is near, say, 25%, all of a sudden that's very risky.
Yeah, there's people that are saying that assuming the numbers are right, if Embiid doesn't stay healthy, he's making less money than the Lakers paid Timothy Mozgov.
There you go.
So you have to take that gamble.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I look at it where I wish. So say you go about it like this. Say you go through this season, Joel Embiid only plays 35 games, and you didn't give him a contract extension.
Yeah.
In that next year, are you really going to say, you know what, he's a liability, he's only played 60-plus games in 4 years, it's time to wash our hands? I don't think you are. I don't think you can. I don't think this fan base would allow it. I don't think it's the smart play for Colangelo if that was the case. I really don't. So what are we talking about here? If you give them the money right now, and obviously that's a team-friendly deal if it doesn't work out in their favor because he gets hurt, you had to give him the money. You had to pay Joel Embiid.
I agree.
He's that special. And I said it, and I got into an argument already on social media. Shocking, I know. But for the next 6 years, it's going to be one special ride. But it's going to be so frustrating because Joel Embiid will constantly be battling injuries. The key is the key is this. He needs to do less. That's number one. Yeah. His style has to somewhat change from last year. He can't be driving down the lane. I'm not trying to neuter Joel Embiid, but less of the perimeter.
And that's very scary because of the way he lands all the time. He always lands awkwardly.
Yeah, he's awkward.
Yeah.
So, now you got some guys on the perimeter. Stay down low, and let's see what happens there. Let's experiment. And I think it's in your best interest if you got this 7-foot unbelievable giant who's just dominating anytime he is on the floor. That's your number one concern. You need to keep his ass healthy. So if you got to change up his playing style some way, somehow, and like I said, I'm not saying neuter the guy. I don't mind him shooting threes. But Joel Embiid was getting a little crazy, hanging out in the perimeter, and because he knows he can hit those shots, and they'll be wide open. But, less driving, down low, more stable. And, of course, anything can happen. He can get hurt there. But I feel like in best interest of keeping Joel Embiid healthy, that's what you got to do. He's got to change a little bit of his style.
I agree with that. And the reason and it's working in their favor now because you signed some shooters in the offseason.
Sure.
So you're going to have the drive and kick ability of Ben Simmons, and you're going to have guys like Robert Covington, J.J. Redick, even Justin Anderson in the corner. You're going to be able to hit more threes now. So even in limited preseason action, the second preseason game, the Sixers were 14 of 31 from beyond the arc, 11 to 21. So you look at that kind of playing style with what the Spurs kind of used to be, Brett Brown or Greg Popovich, drive and kick, shoot a bunch of three-pointers. You're not going to need Embiid out there. So that point, there you go. I do like it when he hits that trail three, like when he's kind of like in transition.
Sure,
I do like that, but that's the only time I kind of want him on the perimeter.
And then the defender closes in on him. The next thing he's pump faking, he's
pumping,
going
and there
he
goes.
So it's like Joel, It's only going to take one time, and we're all going to be freaked out. But back to the bigger point, 6 years, the next 6 years, because he's under contract, so it will kick in next year, right, obviously?
Yes.
So I believe, the details will be all out there, so we'll get everything. But, so here we are. We're talking for the next 6 years. All the cap money, the draft picks, Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, Dario. Mm-hmm. I mean, you go down the list. Everyone that we know, everyone that we like, it's going to be fun no matter what. And Joel Embiid will play games every single year no matter what.
Yeah.
We hope. But I'm not buying the fact that this guy is going to be out there playing 60-plus games every season. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
First of all, the 76ers are going to sit him in certain back-to-backs, and I think they should. Mm-hmm. Still, I really do. And if you want to joke about bubble wrap or whatnot, that's fine. Once it gets to March or February, you want to start playing them a little bit more in the back-to-backs, fine. I don't have a problem with that. As it gets closer to playoff time, fine. But in the beginning of the season, I don't see a reason for him to be playing back-to-backs right now. So I won't have a problem if they don't want to play him like that. So I don't think he's going to have an opportunity to play 60 games just on that alone. So I'm looking at a 50 number.
Yeah.
If you get 50-plus games from Joel Embiid, life's good.
Yeah, and my question is this. So let's say Embiid does get hurt from time to time. He will. Are the Sixers good enough to make the playoffs with Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Not even in the East?
Exactly. Let me see. I got to see some East.
In 5 years, maybe. We'll
we're talking this year, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm talking like
You're talking down the road?
Well, actually for everything. This year, next year, if Embiid is down, can this team make the playoffs with Simmons and Fultz? Because the reason why I asked that is because I can see the scenario where, you're babying him to death and basically just trying to keep him healthy for the postseason. So you're just kind of trying to kind of slog through the regular season, so to speak. And then once you get to the playoffs, that's when you really unleash Embiid, and that's when you really need him anyway. So that's what he's getting paid for is the postseason. So if you can kind of just it doesn't even matter what seed you are, because this team is so freaking talented if everyone lives up to their potential. So you kind of baby them through the regular season. You get the 3-4 seed, whatever you want, kind of what Cleveland does.
Yep.
And then see what happens from there. Because I think with Simmons and Fultz and the rest of the team, you're going to have Dario, all that. I think they would be good enough to sneak into the playoffs.
How about Ben Simmons so far? You liking what you see him?
Oh, I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Man.
I'm loving what I'm seeing.
He's fun to watch. Markelle Fultz just had a nice, from baseline to baseline. Took the inbounds pass. The guy tried to steal it off him, drove right to the rack. Nice lay-in. So he's got the ability. Just give the kid some time.
I want to say this about that because I've said it before in the recap, but I feel like his expectations are so high and so lofty because of what we've seen from Simmons and Embiid. They've come in here and killed it right from the opening jump.
Yep.
It doesn't just happen like that for everybody.
Well, and then you want to talk about the number one overall pick. That's what everyone sees.
Yeah.
And Tatum's having success in Boston. He looks like he's the real deal.
Yeah.
So everyone's elevating the expectations a little bit, but give the kid a chance. The 76er redshirt year was crucial for Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah,
okay,
that's why they look so great.
If
now.
Markelle Fultz can get 1 year to really slow it down, take it all in, work out privately, all that would do him. That would absolutely benefit him a lot. But bottom line, that's not going to happen, and I like that. Let's see what the boy can do on the court.
And he's working on his shooting form too. So it's kind of like the same thing with Carson Wentz and all those mechanical changes. There's going to have to be some time for him to work through the kinks before we kind of see that success. So to get on him after one preseason game was ridiculous to me.
People just want something to bitch about.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Yeah. Hey, man, any last words before we get out of here? Because I really enjoyed tonight. I know that Tony normally joins us, but as a duo, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we covered everything, and I'm really looking forward to Thursday night. But last words, anything?
Yeah, I mean, I really got nothing. Just if you guys want to check out the Bitter Birds on YouTube, I host that stuff, and it's pretty damn good. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Me, hey, check me out on Fox this weekend. Be back from the game, so that's going to be a really cool experience on Thursday night. Look forward to that. No home game this weekend. But then you got the Monday night game against the Redskins.
Yep.
So come on down to Victory Beer Hall, Xfinity Live. Shout out the Real 106.1, doing great stuff. I can't wait to get back out there. It was fun yesterday. Adrian Fedkiw, I'm Sean Brace. This is PhillyAnswer.com. Go Birds. Talk to you later.
Take care.